Hi, I'm Tom Hignite. This is our third floor we're going to look at today in the Fantasy House. So you're going to see some wonderful things downstairs, but let me set this up for a moment again in case you haven't been watching these. This is what we call guerrilla shooting. There's no script. We have a cameraman that's just following around. We have no special lighting. When we do a TV show, we have all sorts of lighting. This is just going to be standard lighting. You're going to be seeing it pretty much the way that we see it. And we're going to go look at one of the most exciting basements that we've ever built in a house anytime, anywhere. And we've built some pretty neat ones with basketball courts and swimming pools and everything else. But this is very different. It's the first time that a theme park ride has ever been put in a house. So you are standing by the dining area window, the dinette. We're in the great room, and I want you to just kind of follow down the stairs. Cameraman, you're going to be watching my behind here, and stay there for just a moment. Let me show you down the stairs. This is a 4-foot wide stairs. Now this house was designed on the outside, if you've seen the other videos, to look like the Disneyland, California train station. That's what was the inspiration. So inside we want to suggest those things, but we don't want to go over the top on the main level. But down here, as you can come down a little closer, you're going to see that we put up a train mural and we put a train track in front of it. Stop about right there. I want to show you. This is a narrow gauge real train track. My brother David got this, and these are cedar rails to look like a train track has been put together with the cross boards. And what we have here is this was heavily had to be sandblasted. We put a little silver on the top because that's what train tracks do, and trains run over them. We even put, you can get a little closer on this if you can. My brother David even thought enough to put a golden spike. So here we have a golden spike to try to tie that all together. He got this from a salvage yard for a few $100s for the rails, and David was great enough to build this for us. You can see behind here what we have is a mural of the New York Central System train station. This is a 1940s, 1950s sort of a thing. And what this is here for, this is an observation platform. I mentioned that we have a in-home theme park ride, and it is just that. It's the first time I've ever done one before, and this is what's akin to a dark ride at Disney. I'm teasing you because we'll show you that at the end. Dark rides are like Peter Pan or Snow White or Pinocchio. You go through the ride and you see a lot of characters. And this is an observation deck, so while you're going around, take a look over the top here. You'll see a train track. Now you're going to look down, and there's a train track, all right? So if your kids or adults are riding on this train and the rest of the family wants to watch them come by, they will come right by here. So this is a spot where the crowd can kind of observe what's happening on the ride, because most of the ride is hidden behind walls. Come on down. Now you stay there on the top of the stairs. I'm going to walk a little further away so you get a sense of perspective here. All right. This is the very last day that this house is probably ever going to look like this. Everything's being taken out. The furnishings, the pictures have already been taken out of the walls, and we've taken out a lot of things. We did leave the electronics in place just so we could show you what we're doing here, but this gives you a good idea of what we're doing. This house is laid out. Stay there and try to get the pan of this whole room. We have a bar back here, a curved bar, but there's no behind bar, as you would say. And I'm going to walk over here a little bit. This is our post in the room. Every basement seems to come free with a post. I'm stepping up right now onto a platform because if you see in back of me, this is a 10-foot diagonal movie screen. Yeah, I can creep on down just a little bit. Give you a lay of the land here, okay? So what we've done here, if you look down on the floor from where you're at, I think you can see this all right. We've taken a standard concrete floor and we've put a stain on it, and then we've put several coats of varnish on top of that. So this has a real neat kind of a industrial look almost. We've used the dark wood in here, and the dark wood is what's very in right now. It's a you find it in a lot of Starbucks, and you find this at Target being sold. This, we have a little open bar. Most bars have a back bar and a front bar. This is an open bar, sort of a mini bar. Here you can place a few things to eat. Here we have a beautiful faucet and a sink right here, and we do have some electronics for the movie behind me are in here. I have a drawer here to hold a few things, and here we have a nice mini refrigerator with a freezer on the bottom. Now we've used all the space in this house because this alcove, which is going into the wall here, I could pull this out a little bit. There we go. I could pull it all the way out here if I wanted to, but this alcove is under the stairs. So we're using the negative space under the stairs that are coming down to hold the refrigerator. If I pull this out all the way, there's a hole in the wall, and I can then get in there to get into some secret access. You can only reach through there. Now, if you stand back over here, Mr. Cameraman, just a little bit this way, what you're doing now is standing behind that curved bar that I showed you when you first came down. Stay right there. I want you to look at the movie screen from there. I'm going to walk way over here. You stay there. I want to give you a perspective of size, okay? I'm right in the movie here. We have almost 25 to 28 feet of distance between me and you, and probably another 4 feet here. So we have about 30 feet of space here between there, where you are, and here. And what we have is basically 3 rows of seating. We have a lower couch, which you'll see in a moment. We have a slightly higher couch here. And then you're sitting over here at a 41-inch high counter. Now this counter, I'll ask you to step back around this way. Why don't you go to that side? We'll give you a different angle. If nothing else, it'll feel like you're going on a theme park ride and getting dizzy while we do this. You can see this counter is curved. And this counter allows, a curve is a very friendly thing for a bar, because if you have a straight bar, you can't really talk to anybody except for the person that's right next to you. So here we have 4 seats, and everybody can talk to each other. We have room on the ends to put on an extra chair if you really wanted to play cards or dice or something. This is a very important table. We've positioned it, it's permanent. We positioned this bar so that it sees the movie over here. It also sees all the people. Everybody's looking in that direction. It's kind of off to the side here, so if somebody's going to be serving themselves a drink in the refrigerator or using the sink or getting a snack, this is a lower snack bar here. You can see how this has been lowered here. This allows people to come into the room from the stairs and walk through the room without ever walking in front of anybody who's watching the movie. And that's an important thing. So what we have here is a great ability for this area to be segregated by itself, and for a crowd to still walk through the room without ever walking through the movie projector area. I'm going to get you a little more dizzy. I'm going to give you a different perspective on this. If you could walk around this way, I'm going to get you into the opposite corner here, way over here. Stand right over there. Hi there. Come around. Okay, this is the other view. Now, let me show you that again. I'm going to go way back here. I'm going to show you how, put that down here. If I'm sitting here, I'm able to see the movie, which from your perspective, you don't have to see it right now, but it's right in front of me there. I'm also able to see over the heads of the people. I'm going to sit in this seat so you can get an idea of the people who would be seated here. This is a 6-inch step up, so you can step up and use this couch area. And I left a little... before we do that, look at where the projector is. We put the projector approximately 14 to 15 feet away from the screen. That's pretty typical, although with short throw projectors today, you can do them a lot closer. But this is kind of typical, 14 or 15 feet away from a 10-foot screen. There you go. Pan over and take a look to your left there. And there you're seeing a movie of Disneyland. Keeping again with our train theme, what you see here is a trip that I took to Anaheim, and I brought the very camera that you're using right now. And what I did was I just kept it very still on the train while I went completely around. It took about 20-25 minutes to go completely around the park on the train. So here you see we're just taking off from the Tomorrowland Terrace train station, and we're going, there's the other monorail train support system right next to us. And we're going around a complete theme park. By keeping it in one spot, my hopes is, because this is the Disneyland train station house, that you would then get a feeling of what it would be like if you went on the Disneyland train. So we have a dozen or more people that could sit here and go completely around the theme park in real time. So when we stopped at a train station, we stopped and we kept it on real time. If you take a look here at how this works, this is a raised area. I'm afraid I chipped off some paint here. We had a sign here and I yanked it off. But this is this is a train track hiding behind here. See, the secret on this basement is that our dark ride, our train track, that's Monstro's eye you're looking at now, if you can't tell. That's an eyeball of a whale from Pinocchio. The train goes through doors that look like this. There's a doorknob this is from the Alice in Wonderland area. And you can see that these doors are on spring hinges. And they're slightly off, so we have a 2-foot door and a 1-foot door, so that when the train is coming through, it doesn't see through the crack in the doors as to what's coming up. So what's neat is if you're a train coming through here, you can look up and see the movie screen. But the people who are in the room, we wanted to keep this an adult type room that had a kiddie train track going around it. Because it's real easy to take a kiddie ride and make the whole room kiddie, but we wanted to make this an adult room that just happened to have a theme park ride hidden inside of it. So when people go through here, you don't see anything, except maybe an adult, you might see their head bopping along here. But it's a very neat experience, because when you're on the train, you can look up and see the movie. When you're sitting and watching the movie from over here, you stay right over there. When you're sitting and watching the movie, you don't have to see anybody going through on the train because the wall hides them. We have speakers all built in around here. While I'm in this area, let me show you a couple of things, because this is kind of well lit. These particular insets, this is a curved wall. One of the hardest things to build in construction is curves. Drywall is flat, lumber is flat, so when you make it into a curve, it's going against its nature. But we're able to do a lot of things with curves. You can see here how we painted sort of a burnt orange color on this wall to bring a little pop to it. I went to Disneyland and I bought posters that fit precisely in these. It went with all the ride attractions. They have some gorgeous posters. They're not photographic, they're more of an artistic type poster, and they set right inside these. You can see that we did a rounded drywall corner here this is a 1/2-inch radius, and this is a square corner on top and bottom. And maybe you can see the texture. This texture is a heavy orange peel, or kind of a splatter effect. Now this is unfortunate that this has been taken down already. We used to have a picture right here, another Disneyland picture. It was hinged up here and up here. And the idea with this was that when you didn't know this was a window, you would just be able to come up and hinge up the picture and look inside. So that we had an area for adults who didn't want to go on a train ride. They could peek inside and see a little glimpse of what's in these secret rooms. So, if I may, Mr. Cameraman, if you could walk around that way so that people can get a good perspective of this. Okay, I'm going to step down here just a little bit and look at what it would look like. Now you have to imagine that picture here, and imagine that you don't even know it's there, and I lift it up, and there you see, I think that's the Mad Hatter you're seeing in there. If you look over far enough, you won't see the whole scene, but you can get a little bit of a glimpse, and we'll go in there in a few minutes and look at the whole scene with you. If you look right below it here, oh, careful now, this is a hole in the wall with a wood picture frame around it. Again, in one of our other videos, maybe we can show you some footage of that from another video, we have a little shadow box that places into these, so it looks, people don't know that there's a hole in the wall. They think we've just hung somehow a 3-dimensional shadow box on the wall. That noise you're hearing is pterodactyls. We must be going through the dinosaur diorama. Anyway, you press the little button on the front of the picture, and on comes a light, and you have a 3-dimensional picture of a famous Disney scene. So if you step back, you can see that we've put eyeball lights by every single one of the pictures that go around the room. Here's a rear speaker up here built in. And stay right there and follow me around here visually. Here we have another poster inset, again with the eyeball lighting it up. One thing with the dark theater room, if we can put lighting around the perimeters that aims away from the screen, it gives you a nice bright room, but with the darkness you still need to show your image. We want to keep the light out of here. So this curved wall here is framing visually this curved wall here, and you can see we have some props of some movie canisters, some film reels on either side. As you follow me around just a little bit, stay right where you're at. I want to show you something here. We have a fish tank. Now this fish tank, you can come a little closer and take a peek. Maybe I'll countermand my stay right where you're at order here. And look what's inside the fish tank. We didn't want to take care of fish in here. And I don't know if you can catch this, but that's Jiminy Cricket. Jiminy Cricket was in Pinocchio, and on the other side of this fish tank, when you're on the train ride, this is an six-sided fish tank, and when you go through, you can see the other side of the fish tank with all the bubbles coming up, and you see Jiminy Cricket, and you're inside the whale of Monstro going into his mouth of the Pinocchio movie, and Jiminy Cricket is there with you. So this is kind of a neat, fun thing to look at. When the lights are off, you can see the nice brightness in that. Take a look at what we've done with flooring while we're in here. We'll take you up, we'll take you down. Remember I showed you that traffic path that came through the room? Well, here it is. And what we did here is we went with sort of this adult, sort of a very high-end carpet in here. This is just a splash. It's sort of a animal safari African type theme. You can see it has some leopard dots and some zebra stripes. It's just kind of a nice pattern. We put it on an angle in the room. And if you look at this area, we didn't spend a lot on doing the whole room with this because we have mostly concrete. But if you look over at this side, you're going to see what we've done with that carpet. We've taken that carpet and we put it in our restaurant booth. Now this restaurant booth, here, let me show it to you a little better with the spotlight here. All right. We're using the area underneath the stairs once again. And we have a television here, just like you would at a sports bar or an adult type bar setting where you might be able to watch a sporting game. We're watching some old-fashioned Walt Disney things here of Louis Armstrong at Disneyland. But here we have upholstery, which is in a suede type product. We use the brown and the orange that we're trying to use in here. We have a very wide table. This can easily seat 6 people, 3 on each side, and it's much wider than a standard restaurant booth would ever be. Take a look at the step up at the bottom of the restaurant booth here. We did get restaurant supports, and this is wood, hardwood, with a birch, so that if somebody spills something, you're not going to have it going on carpet. It would have been much easier to just put carpet in this area, but not very utilitarian. If you've seen any carpeted areas at restaurants, you know what I mean. So, looking around the room one more time, what we have is the wet bar area here. We have the couch areas. You saw the little riser there that we showed you on this couch. And then we have a door that you're kind of in the general area of over here. So stay back over here again. Just step back a little bit. There we go. And by the way, while we're in this area, tilt up just a little bit and look at these wonderful. I said we were a little bit of an industrial look here. If you come down just a little bit on the camera and look up at this light, because this isn't on a chain, you can see how industrial these look. They're just gorgeous with these huge fittings. We've got 2 of those over the bar here. So we have a lot of neat lighting in here, all the eyeballs going around. Again, we have all these poster insets here, and this is another peekaboo window. So if you could come around here and take a look in this peekaboo window area, you'll see one of the next scenes, and I won't ruin the surprise quite yet. I think you can tell what it is. It's Disney's The Lion King. So we have a couple of the figures you can see, and you're not seeing everything, but you're seeing a good glimpse of it. So again, if you were to lift up a picture frame of some art, you wouldn't even know the window's here because it just looks like a picture, but you tilt it up and look under it. There you have it. Okay, we're going to make you go back to right where you just came from because I'm going to show you this door that I'm bumping into. This door is the entrance to our theme park ride. All right. And we're not going to go on the theme park ride yet, but I'm teasing you again. All right. So this I have a automatic door lock mechanism. If I press the wrong buttons, you won't be able to get in. If I lock it, I'll lock it right here. I can't get in. This happens. But if I press the right buttons, there we go. It'll allow me to operate the door for about 15 seconds before it will stop operating the door like that. All right, so we're going to go open this up for a moment. We want to create some excitement, but we also want to protect the area. We don't want little kids to be running onto the train tracks while the train might be going. That could be dangerous. So we've created that wall over there so that it would hide it from people watching the movie and would also keep it safe from little kids getting on there. We created the overlook when you first come down the stairs with the train track railing by it so that you could see what's happening on the train. We created the windows so that you could see what's happening on the train. People hold up the little kids, peek in the window. Then we created a glass door so that for your entrance area to the train, you're able to use the glass door and see inside it and become excited about it. And there you see our train, which, by the way, it's facing the wrong direction. We had a photo shoot here yesterday with some still photos, and we wanted to put the train in a better direction for our little model girl that was on it so that it just seemed to look a little better. You can see we have a train station that looks like a forced perspective of a mural here. And we have lighting up behind here. Trust me, you don't have to see it, but we have some tracks up here. This is actually a structural beam here, but we have this supporting this. This was bought as a mural from a pre-existing product that we put wallpaper on. And this was painted by Philo Barnhart, an ex-Disney artist that's on staff. And he painted the brick to go into the mural. So this was hand painted just by eye to try to match this. And then we brightened it up a little bit, brought in some of these oranges that were here into this, because this is the opening to the ride right here. All right, I took the train off the track so nobody could use it, but we'll put it back on in a few moments and turn it around. Over here, we have the Cheshire Cat. Now, the Cheshire Cat is from Alice in Wonderland, if anybody's familiar with that. And the Cheshire Cat has a speaker that is right here, all right? And that speaker does the talking. His mouth doesn't move. He's made out of fiberglass. We bought these characters. I have a very large collection of these from eBay, from the Disney auctions. A lot of these were in Disney stores or at Disneyland or Disney World. Over here, before the child leaves, we make sure that the operator who puts them on the train explains how they operate the train. Here, we'll do that again for you. It's a cute little bellows, a little pump that if you pull on the string here or pull on the rope, it kind of gives a nice little blast. So you tell the kids off to Wonderland and you tug on the rope, and there you go. So we're going to come back to this. Again, that's my tease. I'm going to take you one time around the loop to a couple of rooms we haven't seen and come right back here, and then we're going to take you on the ride. All right? So follow me. You can stay right there. Let me get a little ahead of you. While we're there, by the way, walking by a remote control, I keep all the remotes over here. This basement is half exposed, meaning that half of the basement is underground and half of it's above ground in the back. We have windows in this room, but we don't want windows when you're having a movie presentation, so you put the blinds down. Well, here's a double whammy for you. When you want to play your movie in here, guess what? Your blinds is your movie screen. So you can close your windows by just letting your movie screen down, and now it says it's movie time, and the blinds are already down. So I want you to watch the movie screen over here, right from where you're at. Just spin around, and I'm going to press this little egg-shaped device, which says up, and we just aim it over here. It's still kind of light outside. It's about 6:30 in the evening here. And you're going to see the windows start appearing momentarily. There we go. Beautiful. If it was too sunny, you wouldn't be able to see much. It would blind the screen. We are looking underneath the deck area. So the deck always gives us some shade as you think about it. But there you have it. So if you want to have some sunlight and some natural light down here and you're not going to be watching a movie, it's a great way to do it. You don't have to worry about ever having your windows open while you're watching a movie. I'm going to press the down button, and you'll see it starting to come down again. And there it goes. So we've had a lot of fun with this room, trying to create an adult movie theater in adult settings. When you come down, you're not thinking kiddie rides. You're thinking that this is an adult-themed place. But we do want to have some nice fun for the kids. We've insulated the walls so that people are not hearing the screams so much. But I'll show you some of that as we go through. I'm just going to press stop when it gets to right about there. There we go. And now we have our screen back. Other rooms I was starting to talk about on our little journey around our Wonderland basement here. We're going past the booth. We've already took the bedding off of this bed, but you'll get the general idea. You still see the mattress. In this room, there we go. This is not a large room, but it has some special problems with this room, some challenges. I'd like you to walk through over to, well, first of all, over here, if you would, Mr. Cameraman. We have is a queen-size bed here. It's pushed up against a wall so that we can get usage on two sides, but not on the other side. That's why it gives us a little more space here. You'll notice because we are tight in here, we still have about 30 inches of walk-through space here, but we created an alcove here for a television, because if you're walking through here in a tight area, you could be hitting the TV. So the alcove works great for that. We have a ceiling fan in here. We also have a little device in the corner there. That is actually a security device, a motion sensor. We've created an alcove in the wall. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to walk past you here, and maybe you can just step over just a moment there. Maybe walk around to that side, right over by that door. Very good. You dizzy yet? All right, so here's an alcove. We've done some interesting things we have beam supports over us here, but we've brought this all down. But here's the problem. If you're running a train track completely around your basement, and you're going to have a basement bedroom, you need to have an escape window or an egress window in your bedroom. Well, how do you do that if you have a train running around it? You know, let's say you're trying to sleep here, or you're trying to rest, but you would have the invasion of privacy of having a train going around you. So here's what we did. From that angle, I think you can see this. We built up a step here. I'm standing on top of a step. Now this step we made large enough to fit a 3-foot wide dresser. Same height as a dresser, about 36 inches. But you have to have a certain step up to meet egress codes to get out your window. What we did here, you still see some of our decorating. There's Chip and Dale. Well, behind Chip and Dale there's a window. This is carpeted on top, and the idea is that this is your egress window. If it's legal, it's to code. If you step up on this step and then step up onto here, you can get out of that egress window, and you're to safety. You have a slider window there. This, by the way, this window that I have here is another flip-up, hinge-up type picture, Disney picture. So if you want to see, you can take a peek around this side, see what's inside that window. We're showing you every one, and you'll see this one is a smudged up window. Now you're looking at the back side of a projection that's doing a spotlight, and that is our Genie scene. So there you're seeing Genie from the Aladdin movie, and we'll be visiting him in a minute. So now that you're over there, let me show you this door over here. This door over here means that you could walk through this entire basement, because what we're walking into here is a bathroom. This is a two-doored bathroom. There's a door here, a door on the other side. And this allows people touring the house or people living in the house to use this bathroom from the bedroom, but it also allows people from the bar area to use the bathroom without having to go through the bedroom. So it's fairly tight quarters in here, but follow me through. We have a 3-foot shower stall here. All right, and stay frozen there for a moment. You can get to small rooms. You have to stay back as far as you can. Again, we're working under the stairs, and you can see that the toilet, where you're going to be sitting or standing, you're not going to be hitting your head on the stairs. So we planned it so that this would be a great area to put the toilet, maximize our space in the bedroom or in the bathroom. Here you see a very fun sink shape. It looks like a pillow, and it's a vessel sink. A triangular, and actually a cutoff triangle shape on the countertop here, which we had to build this for. They don't make cabinets of this shape, so we got a front and we built the cabinet. We've got a great, really nice lamp up here. It looks kind of train-like, kind of like a train lantern, and a really interesting looking, I thought it looked a little like a train track mirror there. You can see how we've cut off this corner here to the shower. This corner has been cut off because of clearance sake. We want to be able to clear through, because we're traffic pathing to the door you just came through to this door. I'm going to open up this door here. All right. Oh boy, here we go. And there we are. Stabilize that camera. So over here we have the back entrance back up to the stairs. So if this door here, we have a nice alcove over here. We've got a little train lamp up on the ceiling. Can you see that, Mr. Cameraman? All right. This door is usually locked. This is a little bit of a secret area. If you have to get and service our train, our ride vehicle, in a theme park, that's always important to have a servicing area. So because we're working with very confined spaces, we decided to use our largest display room to be our servicing area. So that way we could get people, adults, in and out. This is also our VIP picture area. So when I have people come to the house that I know real well, I'll bring them right into this area and have them take a picture in our Beauty and the Beast room. So if you come in, let's take a look at our Beauty and the Beast room. Now here we have a mirror ball. We have spotlights on that, and that can spin around if I were to turn on the motor. All right. Here you see the train track down below, and what we have is a area around the corner here. Let me show you this. Turn on some lights here. We have some work lights. For the sake of a home, being that a home has a lot of systems in it, we've had to do a real good job trying to hide things, because we also have a theme park ride going around in a home. So this door with no doorknob, you open up, it doesn't touch the floor. We built out the wall. Here's our actual concrete basement wall. And here are our service panels for the electric in the house. We have a large full service panel for electric and a smaller one over there. And an awful lot of cables here for future television. We have an outlet in here. And again, if I go through here, close this up, and the train comes through, we're nice, and everything is nice and safe here. We've even put a board here so that you're not going to trip on the track. You're able to, we cut the boards, made them out of wood, obviously, so that we could put it right over the track. So that we splattered the paint on the floor. This is a red room. We've tried to create different colors in different rooms. We want to give the audience a pop of color when they go into each room, so this is our red room. And in here, we have a lot of different characters, but before we get to that, let me show you. This is where we store our paint cans. Not out in the display area, please. But we store our paint cans and things back here. Let me pull that away for you, if I can get a good glimpse of that. This is our furnace. This is a velvet curtain. There's our furnace. There's paint cans. And if you can swing around a little bit, you'd see our water heater on your right-hand side, right over there. There's our water heater. There's the back side. Those are insulated walls. You can see the fiberglass insulation there. And we've left a space here to put our water softener. We've got a loop wall put in there for it. We've got a floor drain in there. And when you drop this curtain and the train goes through, nobody even knows it's there, because people tend to look to the right when they're going through on these rides. So we put everything to our right. We positioned our train so that you're going to be always looking to the right. This is a doorway that goes into the Genie room. We'll get around to that when we go around the rest of the way. But right now, what I'd like to do is I'd like to take you back to where we started. And I'm going to take you through the theme park ride. All right, we're going to turn off the camera, get ready for fun. Well, I'm standing out here by the round bar area that you saw a little while ago. I want to show you how we've set things up in our mechanicals for the train. The train doesn't have a whole lot of sound to it except clickety-clack, so we added a lot of sound ourselves so that each scene that you went into, you'd be able to hear something. Here, come on over and maybe go over by the couch here so you can get a better view of this. Right below the cabinet here, we have a series of mini computers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We have 17 different sound systems in our ride. We have various characters that are talking, and to turn it on, we've tried to simplify it as best as possible with 2 power strips. We have here is a little guide. We have the loading area, we have the boarding area. We have Alice in Wonderland, Very Merry Unbirthday, that's for Alice in Wonderland. So we have 2 songs going in there. Jiminy Cricket for the fish tank, Geppetto and the Cheshire Cat. The Cheshire Cat is our host as we go through, so we see him several times. Aladdin display, You Never Had a Friend Like Me, and all the way down to the Goodbye from Mickey Mouse himself. So here's how you turn it on. You're going to hear some noise happening because we're not completely sound insulated. There you see, when these lights go on, we know that everything is on. So we've got, I'm going to turn this one on next. There we go. So all the red lights are on and all the green lights are blinking. The red lights mean power is to it, of course, and the green light means that things are playing. So now you're starting to hear a lot of things happening. But by doing just those 2 power strips, we've turned on all 14 areas in the train ride, in the dark ride. So step around a little bit, that direction. And we're going to go on a train ride, okay? Figuratively speaking. It might be a little hard to hear because we do have the volumes at regular playing speed. We took a while to tweak it, each one, so that they were just optimal. But I'm sure that they're not just optimal for what we're doing right now with this tour. So, come on through. We'll do this slow. I'm new at this too, okay? I'm used to putting somebody on the train and doing this. Off we go. So if you're sitting in here, we have as one speaker here that we recorded our own announcer on. Say, now boarding on track number 1, a trip to Fantasyland, or to Agrabah, into Wonderland, and whatever else. Anyway, behind here, we have the Cheshire Cat, who's talking and saying to hold on to your seat and keep all your hands and arms inside the ride vehicle, and don't touch anything. So he's kind of going on and on and on with that sort of thing. Now I'm going to go through this hole here, and we're going to see if our cameraman can get through as well. We're going to leave the train behind, okay? Because I'm just going to give you the walking tour. Everything is sized for a 6'1" person who would be sitting on the train. All right, I'm going to open up these doors. They're spring-loaded. All right, and cameraman, you can stand up right about now. All right, you've got full headroom. So what we have here is Mad Hatter, forced perspective. Everything's aiming down at the rider. We have a table back here. You stay right there. I'm going to give you a little distance. Here we go. We have Alice with a half a cup of coffee. It's a full cup that's been cut in half. She's kind of suspended on the wall, so the train goes under these 2 people, 2 characters. We have a forced perspective table with the March hare at the end of it, and a little teapot here. All sorts of track lighting and such. Here we have a task lighting for this character. We have track lighting behind this drop wall for other characters, so that you don't see it until the train has gotten past those areas. You can see a little bit of special effects lighting behind the cameraman there. You don't have to look, but there's a small device that is a laser. There, are you going to try to look at it? All right, there we go. There's the laser. And it's putting little red splashes of light through the room. We had a muralist come in and paint this wall here so it looks like something out of a Mary Blair painting from old Walt Disney artists that did a lot of that stuff from Small World. So now if you get down a little lower, let's get down to train perspective, okay? We try to look at everything from a train rider's perspective. That's why things are angled down at you and you're going under things, and you discover things as you go through. So here what you're discovering is the Cheshire Cat again. He's back here with some special effects lighting on him. And the March hare, you know, I'm late for a very important date, that sort of thing. And as you go through, you discover different things. This room is our blue room. I mentioned color before. This is blue speckled on the floor. We have dark blue on here. And we're going to go through this door behind me. You notice this door was painted. And we showed it to you from the outside before. The door has this doorknob, which is an iconic character from that particular movie. And you go through this door, it opens up on a stripe of the wood grain of the door. All right? So I'm going to go through first, and then you follow me behind. All right, this one's going to close on you here. And then you can stand up right about now. Okay, this is a different perspective, isn't it? You stay back there as far as you can. we're going to give you a little different perspective. We're looking back at the room now. So look back at the room. And you can see where what it looks like if you were sitting right at the, with your head right on the movie screen. Okay? Now from a train rider's perspective, if we can go back into train position and go down low now. Let's go down low behind the wall that hides you from everybody. Okay? What you see next is Monstro the whale's eye. A little hard to see in this lighting maybe. But that whale eye, oh, we had a little drop there. Pick it back up. That's what we call guerrilla shooting, folks. Unscripted, unrehearsed. Can you tell? Anyway, I'm going to get down low too. And as you're riding by with the train, if you look up a little bit, of course right now we have a dark picture on here, but you'll see the movie screen. Right now they're going through a tunnel. So, there we go. Now you can see a little light. But as you go through, this gives you another sensation because you're going through on the train, but you have this moving image right there. So it kind of gives you a great feeling of movement as you go through. We had thought originally about just using movie screens in every area, so it made it look like you were going to different destinations on your train ride, which could definitely be done in here as well. I'm going to go into Monstro the whale, all right? And as I'm going into Monstro the whale, I'll hold these doors open for you to come in as well. All right, come right on in.
You go ahead. Look for the whale's tail. I'll be right behind you.
All right.
Now what are we gonna do?
Now this is a very tight quartered area here. So you stay there, go back all the way against the door. Okay, here I am. These are the teeth of the whale, and the teeth are angled up. This is all made out of wood, out of plywood. Take a look up. You can see how we've got the lighting in here. Let me put this forward here a little bit, change my lighting, so you can see things a little better. What we have here is the fish tank. So when you're coming into the whale, we have this all painted black, so you're in the belly of the whale, but we have some blue fun swirls on the floor and on the wall there. And I'm going to steal a little light. You can hear our imitation of Jiminy Cricket. This is a service light. I've stolen the service light here so that you can see into this a little better. Now this is a forced perspective. So if you can see this, this is a forced perspective looking down the whale's stomach. You can see the ribs of the whale have been made a little bit smaller, and then the doors at the end have been made into a forced perspective of, so our train goes right through that. So I'm going to see if I can leave our cameraman go in front of me, and I'm going to then follow you, all right? So we're going to try to trade places, if I can. And you walk nice and straight right down the forced perspective. Right down the perspective. And you're going to be going, you can hear the voice over your head now is Geppetto asking about where his son is and that he's lost in the whale. All right. I'm going to turn on a spotlight here. Sorry for all the noise. Turn down your volume if you wish. I have a little control center here. And if I press scene 1, chase 1. There we go. What we have, I may not be able to show you, but you'll have to just talk me. I'll have to talk you through it. We have an automated spotlight back here, a very expensive spotlight device that shoots a blue ring of spotlight all over the room. It chases around the room. So when you come into this room, you get a different fun effect. We're playing music from Aladdin, You've Never Had a Friend Like Me. Now I'm going to change positions with you so you can look ahead. All right, let's get down to the height of a train. All right. Now here we have Iago. Yago has a little speaker right here. So Yago can talk to the train rider as they're coming through. We also have Genie with his lamp. We have the Cave of Wonders painted on the wall here. We have the little monkey here, Abu. This is our blue room here. This is all purple room rather. So we have all purple in here. So we went from purple to blues. And if you look behind, follow through, and you're going to see the villain right over here. Sorry about that little dipping and chasing here. But here you have our villain who has his own speaker, and he's asking you to please help him get out of this mess, and he's threatening the genie, and he's asking for Yago to help him. Let's see if you can hear him.
You there, down there in the train. Have you seen my lame-brained parrot? Little guy. Grandfather's annoying voice. You there! Hey, you! Help!
That's enough of him. All right, anyway, he never gets out of there. I've seen this before. Now down here, something a little interesting you may not be able to see. We want to transition you now from being in the Aladdin scene to into the Beauty and the Beast scene. So going into the Beauty and the Beast scene, we have a little vignette of Beauty and the Beast's father. Beauty and the Beast's father, Maurice, is looking for Beauty, or Belle. So he's saying, Belle, Belle, where are you? Oh my goodness, a castle. Look at the castle. I wonder if she's in there. So we don't have the lighting system working in here like we have before, but I'm going to still show it to you as best we can, with or without lighting. Here, come on through. Let's see.
He's locked her in the castle's dungeon.
Here, come on down here.
Wait. You're 10 feet tall. Please.
You're back at train perspective, so you're coming in through the train area. This is Maurice. He's the father. We normally have spotlights over here, but the spotlights aren't doing too much right now. But the spotlights give you an idea of the character Maurice. It also gives you an idea of the woods here. This is the woods. There's a little castle up here with some lights. The speaker is here that's speaking for this character. So come on through. Listen.
Locked her in the castle's dungeon.
All right.
He's a hideous beast. You're 10 feet tall. Please. Won't anyone come with me? No one will come with me. I'll go myself. Where are you there? Let's see that castle.
And now we're back into our service area, which I had shown you before. This area, here we had a little bit more light on for you. This area is Beauty and the Beast, all in red. So we go from one scene to another. Now we have all the lights on in here. When the lights were not all on in here, we went from a spotlight that was chasing around in the last area to an area here where you have a mirror ball that puts all sorts of sparkle lights, stars spinning around you. So you're getting different lighting effects as you're coming through into each room to kind of add to the interest. Here we have these characters talking, the clock and the candlestick, Lumiere and Cogsworth. We have the speaker hidden here. Let's listen to him for a moment.
Of course. Ah, Cogsworth. Isn't she lovely?
Yes, lovely indeed. She could be the one.
Okay, that's enough of them. All right. So anyway, you get the idea. Now, we also have a speaker on our villain over here. We have Wardrobe over here, which is the Joanne Worley character. We have the henchman, I don't remember his name, but anyway, we do have Gaston. I do remember his name. Oh, LeFou, of course. And the henchman here again is looking down, or is looking at you over there, but Gaston is looking at you here, and he's kind of taunting the beast. And we have a little speaker over here. I'm going to hold that one up to my.
It's time to crank on.
Oh, we have the Cheshire Cat interrupts everybody and tells you it's time to move on and stop. Don't stop the train.
You'd better go too before I interrupt this little love story. Beast, this castle isn't big enough for the two of us. In this town, there's no one quite as brave or beautiful as me.
All right. Well, anyway, then we do have another little guest shot over here. Of course, we have Beauty in this round area. But take a look at something. This round area and this stained glass area, this can come off on Velcro because this is a home. Our sump pump is back here. We also have our extra train back here. If we want to bring a smaller train online because of crowds, we're able to use this as our little parking garage, and we can bring our next train online. So we can do 2 trains at the same time for high capacity. So there's a little hiding area. If we take the train out, we can also get to our sump pump. So this is a house after all. Coming through here, we want to create surprises. The nice thing about a curve is that you're able to use that curve to reveal new things. So here you see, if you come through, that you've got Mrs. Potts and Chip and all the brothers and sisters. We painted some cupboards up here, and you're able to go under here, and Mrs. Potts says, "Oh, do come back again. We didn't have time for a spot of tea." So as you go through here. So now I'm going to go through, let's go down to train level again. I'm going to go through our red room first. And again, you're going through a brick wall now, so you can see it kind of comes open. We've hidden the idea of the brick wall. All right. Here is our lookout area. So as you come through here, you're able to wave to the parents, and you're able to wave to people there. You're looking up the stairs there. So now you have your lookout area. We also call this the picture area, so people take the picture. Now we have the Cheshire Cat. I remember I pointed out earlier that the Cheshire Cat is in a lot of our scenes, kind of taunting you. He's kind of a pain in the backside. And we have this preventer wall here so that people standing on the stairs do not look over and see the cat. So that you could if you really tried, but he's kind of hidden from you. We have our spotlights back here and such. But let me let you hear what he's saying here, if I can get his little...
Stop.
Oh, his speaker's back here. Here, let's listen.
Of course. Then stop. You must. Nothing lasts forever. The jungle of Africa awaits. Forward through the doors. You know the routine. I'll be...
All right. So that's enough of him. And this is our last scene that we go through. So this is the jungle scene of the Lion King. Now, before we go into all the noise, let me just explain. We used to have another light machine in there. It's been taken down already. It projected leaves in green that were cascading all over the room. So that is no longer in there. But I'm going to go through first and hold the doors open for you. And this room is green. Stay right there. I'm going to adjust the light here for you. All right. A little hard to adjust the lights. We don't have a lot of the lights here. But we do have these little hidden puck lights, which were never turned off from the last night when we were here taking still pictures. So now they're very dim. But we had these so they'd be lighting up things like our characters here. And here's a character speaker for the bird. Zazu. Zazu is the bird. Here we have the, I have to remember all the characters' names now, but this is the baboon. Did I get that right? Yes, baboon, of course. And as you come through on train height, you'll see that we also have young Simba here up on Pride Rock, which is kind of unusual because we have this Pride Rock display, which is gorgeous with the false leaves and things. And then we painted a false perspective of a larger Pride Rock here. So this is kind of a mini Pride Rock make-believe. And we have the cutouts here that were in a Disneyland window, apparently, of older Simba. So we have younger, maybe this is his son, his newborn, and Nala. There we go. And as you're going through then, we have Mickey here. If you go down to train height again, let's get you back down to train height. As you go through, we don't have his speakers on. We've disconnected some things, but he would thank you for coming through and, gee, we had fun, you know, that kind of thing. Come back again and visit us real soon. Then you have another peekaboo window over here, as we saw that from the other side before. We have other little hidden lights here that are out of juice, but they are they're meant to light up this area. So let's come through and I'll trade places with you, and you can look at this from the other side, okay? So we're going to come straight through, and then we're going to trade places so you can see what the other side of this thing looks like. There's our peekaboo window. And there you're looking at it from standing height. Now if we looked at it from low height, there you go, get the whole thing. Click around. We have trees over here. But I'll go down to the train height so they can see the height, because everything's really designed to be shown from sitting height. There we go. Now we do have a speaker for Zazu and for Mickey, and then the main sound in here, and those are the three in here. Then you go back out to the train station area, which is the next door through. So we're going to do a slow spin. I'm going to try to trade places with you here, excuse me. And I'll hold the spring doors open for you. Okay. All right. Wow. Thank you for going through that ordeal with me. I hope you got something out of it. We're going to show you now what it feels like to go on the train ride. I apologize that some of the lights aren't necessarily working completely, but we got a pretty good taste of it, and here we go.
If you're quite finished, remember rules number 1 and 2. No stopping. After all, you don't want to be anywhere near this tea. I've seen this story. He finds the boy and gets out of the way. And so can you. Crank ahead now, a little faster if you please. A certain genie's waiting just beyond the way.
I think it's okay, I didn't see it. I think I did.
Just right. Doors and look on. Next, last stop of the dreaming surprises.
Pay no attention to him. He's there to really stop. Thanks for stopping with us here today. Very slowly. Gee, it's been great having you aboard. We